For today's video, I am actually going to give you yet another clip of last week's Dungeons & Dragons game, because it turns out that we just crammed an awful lot into that session. It's the fear of Mike leaving that made it all go so crazy. So this is the story that we were told by Zane about Sir Milo's mission when he was sent out with his party to take care of the guy who would eventually become Marino the Lich King that we're facing. So hopefully you enjoy this very heart-wrenching little story.
I will be more than happy to answer the question you asked me early.
Okay.
The question I will answer is in reference to Gwendolyn Tickle Fritz. It's hard to say his name because it makes me giggle.
You're so cute.
Gwendolyn Tickle Fritz, Sir Milo, and myself.
And yourself.
A very long time ago, we were much like the four of you. Of course, one of you is missing because she's...
That's Tickle Fritz.
I, of course, the learned mage.
Oh, that's me.
That's none of us.
That's none of you. Gwendolyn, the druid. And you can see him when he thinks about this. You can see him rolling over memories and adventures and stuff. Fritzy.
Fritzy?
Our
Sorry, I won't interrupt.
Fritzy. Our little tinkering bardish gnome.
That's definitely Ennis.
Yeah.
And of course, Sir Milo.
I'm Sir Milo.
The
In
noble,
the story.
good-hearted paladin. The paladin of Santos.
Praise Santos.
We know.
We went on many adventures together. One of our last adventures was just as the king ascended to the throne. His father had passed. And there was a young man who, as I tell you this story, I tell you because you are assisting the king, and I believe that it is right to not withhold information to those who are directly influential in assisting the kingdom. And I think you should know what I am about to tell you is extremely confidential, and the king does not know, nor will he ever know. And if one of you finds the opportunity to tell him this, I will find you beforehand. That's right. I will find you before you tell him. And I will be very displeased with you. Are we clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was that?
You're not that stupid. You are a follower of Santos, which means you have some semblance of intelligence. The four of us got wind of our new queen and her extracurricular activities.
Paramore.
Tet on
She
tet.
was given to the king as his bride to, of course, as in any royal wedding and pairing, to unify two smaller kingdoms into a large kingdom. And you guys all know that that happened. This kingdom used to be two divided, but a truce had been made about 50 or 60 years prior, when the two kings decided that when both of them have passed, their son and daughter would marry and become king and queen of all of the kingdom.
Creating Espa.
Yep, creating Espa. He says, the queen, of course, did not care for the king as much as he did her. The king ignores a lot of her fun times. She goes off on adventures on her own, she travels a lot, and she gets into a lot of trouble. She was having an affair with a young man named Marino.
Oh, I know that name.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, we've been there. Keep up.
By we, I mean Fritzy, had found out about this affair and reported it to us. And in lieu of hurting the king, we removed Marino from the equation. You can tell in his eyes that there's like sadness and sorrow at this point.
Hey, you
He
know what
says-
I bet? I bet that Zane has a tick in his not so good box because of that.
He sure does.
Yep.
So,
It was not something that we did out of joy.
but
Marino was not a great person, but he was not an evil person either.
But if he knew about her dalliances already, why did you have to take care of Marino?
He doesn't know. He ignores that she goes away and just assumes she's on a trip.
Who, the king?
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, yes, the king is a good man. Removal of Marino is the reason the four of us parted ways. This was, as you know, the king and queen are a bit older. They had children later in life. They are, for humans, they're, I believe the king is in his late 50s, early 60s. I just can't keep track of those numbers. But the queen is slightly younger.
So, I guess I have other questions. Did you know that Marino is back as a lich?
I found out that he had returned through not so good means. I did not foresee this coming. None of us did.
Do you think that he kidnapped the queen? Or is it possible that she went with him?
Willingly.
I do not know. But what I do know, and he points to he pulls out the ransom note, and he says, rearrange the first letters of each one of those ridiculous items. Do you have the list in front of you?
So, M.
Start with the spell book.
M. So, a light of grace or just light of grace?
A light of grace.
So, M-A-R. So,
Marino.
yeah. Yeah. It spells Marino.
What I can tell you. The items that you are searching for, 3 of them are key in creating a lich.
So there's the potentiality that he means to make the queen, his forever.
How romantic.
It is quite romantic, I agree.
Also
Important
disturbing.
question. Hey, listen, don't diss on the formerly dead.
There's difference.
Did the queen know what happened to Marino?
I am uncertain.
Okay.
However, if Marino reveals himself to her and they are working together, there is 100% certain chance that he has told her. And if the king finds out after she is rescued, she could open her mouth, tell the king, and his trust in all of his advisors will be destroyed.
Great.
Okay.
So, it is our responsibility
To keep the king happy.
to keep the king happy. The king is an extremely good man.
And with that little bit, I play D&D again in a few days, but I'll see you tomorrow.